That's fine. Going live on YouTube here. Let me get back to my. I actually did. I got a couple of different things here. Well, good morning and welcome back to Ask the OT with Gina Grothoff, who's who's joining me right now as she's going to be zooming in here. You got to get into the Zoom first. But today we go through these sessions to be able to answer questions for people that are dealing with some of the things that we ourselves are dealing with, or we're dealing with aging parents and raising our own kids at the same time. And in this time, we find the things that well, the things that are bothering people that are people are talking about, and we find answers to them, or we also just can listen to concerns about things that are happening. There we go. Hello there. Good morning.
Good morning. So I'm Gina Grothoff. I'm an occupational therapist. I have worked in adult and geriatric rehab since 1992 when I graduated from occupational therapy school and have learned a lot over the years about not only the rehabilitation process of different illnesses and injuries, but helping to educate and support family. And once you get talking about the aging population, people who either now have more physical limitations or cognitive limitations that can affect their safety in living home alone, there's just lots of new issues to deal with. People are living longer, and sure, there are plenty of people that live into their 90s and don't really need outside assistance, yet there are those that do. And for those of us, often many of us in Generation X, but people younger as well as older, that have aging parents and are supporting other children, either financially, emotionally. We have a high school student as well as a 20-something-year-old living at home and just supporting our kids and our parents. And so it's a journey. We're navigating this journey. We call it the sandwich generation. Someone else coined that term, just being in the middle of helping to both, aspects of older and younger generations. Um, and I like to look at it more, though, as a balancing act, a juggling act of dealing with different things. And yes, my father did pass away in October, yet, I have an 81-year-old mother. And right now, she's doing great. She doesn't need a whole lot of help other than sometimes some assistance driving places. And we don't know what's coming. We kind of don't know what's coming for any of us, right? And but she lives close to us now. And so being able to be here nearby for her to help her support her. I mean, we helped her put Christmas lights up and we join her for meals. We have her over here. Um, and it just feels good that I can be nearby to support her.
So, why we could get into a couple of questions I have.
Okay.
Um, the first one, my father, who is dealing with some dementia, has gotten quite rude lately, and it's upsetting. And she's asking, is there anything that she could do about that, or anything they could do to help that?
So behavior changes. This is common. And sometimes your loved one is resistant to going to a doctor, to getting confirmation on what's going on. It really can be very helpful to go to a neurologist to go get an assessment to see, what it is you're dealing with, because a lot of times cognitive impairment can be covered up in different behaviors and things. How much can we change the situation of a lot of times they kind of lose their filter, kind of like a child, kind of saying what's on their mind, not thinking about other people, being a little impulsive with their thoughts or their actions. And so we really need to realize what we can control and what we can't. And we need to come to a place of acceptance. We can certainly set boundaries, and it depends on the level of cognitive impairment with this person, but we can set boundaries in other ways. Um, Navigating if you've got children at home and, talking to your kids, letting them know, helping to educate them on what grandpa's going through, um, finding your limits, what overwhelms you, what support do you need? At what point is it like, okay, I can only handle so much of this, and then, um,
How do I turn it over to somebody else,
yeah,
maybe?
or
Or
limit, conversations, or have an out, if it's dealing with him on the phone and helping him, going to medical places. Those people should understand, if you're concerned about in public. Um, there's become so much more awareness now of aging population. There's even movies and TV shows that are dealing with this issue a lot more. Um, so yeah, it's about looking at what you can do, what your limits are, what you can handle, that coming to an acceptance, also educating yourself, and a support group can be a great thing. They have dementia support groups. You can just find your Alzheimer's Association. There's all different types of dementia, but they often have support groups in many areas, and being able to hear other people's stories, even if you don't want to share, being around other people who get it, who have similar experiences, and um, to know it's okay. It's not your fault. And you're not going to be able to really change the way that things are going as far as their behavior. And yet, what can you do about it to make it more manageable for yourself?
well, and you got to think about the family part of it, like you talked about, is pulling other people into this too to help you to take off some of the weight of yourself on it. Um, the other one that kind of falls in line with this a little bit, it was more of a concern, is I've been so exhausted lately with my caring for my dad, and it's getting really hard to be in shape for myself, or being well, they talk about being fit for themselves. Um,
So,
and
probably having the time to take care of themselves,
mhm.
the energy to take care of themselves, because it's a lot when you're caring for another person, even if you're not the primary caregiver, even if you're just bringing supplies or checking on them or bringing them meals or coordinating care from other people. It takes a toll. It does, and it's unfortunately it tends to be a downhill progression, as in they need more and more care. The level of assistance increases over time, and so it can be more time consuming over time. So there's hard to see a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. It's
Yeah.
and knowing, okay, this has got to get better, and it will change typically. And sometimes as someone's dementia worsens, if you have other caregivers in place, it can be less burdensome on you. They might be sleeping more, they might be less interactive. Um, Remind me of the question again, because I've gotten lost
Well,
on.
it was just more about how to get themselves fit. Um,
Okay, yeah, taking care of yourself. So there are daycare centers, there are adult daycare centers where you can bring a loved one. You drop them off like you're taking them to school, and they can be there 5 days a week or less than that to have the care and support and the supervision that they need to give you time. Looking at your schedule and things that you're doing. How many things are you doing that you have to be doing? What other things can you let go of in right now? Can someone else help with, if you have kids you've got to pick up or take to activities, can someone else help with that to free up some time for you? What other ways can you free up your time? Can you go into work earlier or go into work later and do, an exercise early in the morning? Um, rethinking your schedule, trying to juggle it, taking a sick day from work so that you can take care of yourself, doing it preemptively. I used to take sick days because I would get so run down, and this was years ago when I was just, my parents were not in the picture as far as needing my care. And I slowly over time realized it's so much more important to take a mental health day, to take a day for myself preemptively to prevent from getting that burnout, that rundown where you get sick and where you have to take time off because you feel terrible. You come down with the flu or whatever.
Well, the last one I had was, was about a parent that's starting on the dementia part of it, but they're asking about like uh, what kinds of things can they do to help that parent uh, keep their memory and going.
To minimize the decline.
Decline, yeah.
So the brain needs to be exercised just like our muscles. And having activities, whether it's cards, puzzles, crosswords, activities that engage the mind, having conversations. Picture albums, photo albums can be a great way to kind of have conversations and be able to talk about different things and engage them. Being active and participating in their life in some way. What things can they do? Can they help you with baking cookies? Can they help you do laundry? Can they, just being active and engaged and having a purpose um, can just keep them functioning, can help maintain and minimize decline. Excuse me. So, if you're joining us just now, this is Ask the OT with Gina, and we bring this to you a couple times a month as an opportunity to reach out and ask questions about caring for aging loved ones, juggling, navigating, caring for your children, your parents, yourself, and to learn more about Don and I and the services we provide. And if you'd love to reach out and connect with us one on one, I seem to have a cold. Um, I'd love to help you, and help you navigate your specific circumstance. It really takes kind of that one-on-one approach where I can really hear your whole story, get more information from you, find out about your loved one, what's going on with them. Um, what are those challenges that you're facing so that I can best support you, help you with finding resources and different options of what you can do. And so, Don, how can they find out more about us?
Well, they can find out more by one is by going to our website at focusedhealthyfamily.com. They can also know we have a podcast every Thursday where we really explore this aging population, the focus on the family and how to combine them together every Thursday. You can find on any of your YouTube channels or not just YouTube, but different platforms that you go on. Um,
Anywhere
and
you listen to a podcast,
there you
as
go.
well as watching us on YouTube. All our podcasts now are broadcast on YouTube as well as in audio form.
And to think about, maybe you don't have a concern. Maybe it's not, you don't have a specific question right off the bat, but you just got into a place where you want to be able to share your experience and share what you're going through so others can feel the same. Because yes, we do these live every uh, a couple times a month, but they are out there for everybody to look at all the time and be able to still answer the questions. So you can still find answers to those questions by posting to us. You can post You can go on my email, don@focushealthyfamily.com, or you're welcome to go on our website and you can post it there. So we love to be able to answer those questions because we look at the sandwich generation just as much as we do just the aging population. When you're like us, you have uh, kids at home that you're still dealing with that need our support, but you also have an aging parent that you have to take care of. It's a lot, and you really want to get past that point. You want to get past it and find the answers you need, find the places you can find um, the solution that you want. And that's what we're here for.
And having the support, like you mentioned, Don, maybe your parents getting older, you're not really dealing with any issues currently, but you're anxious maybe about things or you don't know what the future holds. Being part of a community, hearing other ideas and strategies, you might hear something today that down the road you go, you know what? I remember when Gina or Don said, this, and maybe I can try this out, or maybe I'll reach out to them now to help me further. So listen for yourself, share, please share this with others. There's so many people out there who need support. It can be very isolating to be juggling family life and children as well as aging parents. Um, it can leave you with hardly any time. And so listen to us as you navigate around and drive people from place to place. Join us, on any podcast platform. You can listen to Focused Healthy Family. And also, you can join Don live for tapping. You can learn about the emotional freedom technique, EFT. He does free monthly.
Twice a month I do it, and tonight actually is my own 7 o'clock tonight. I do it, and it's just a chance. Again, it's like anything we're dealing with here, as we're dealing with aging populations, as we're dealing with anybody, we have stresses through the day, and this is one way to be able to express that and get it out.
And I mean, this tapping's for anybody. You don't have aging
No.
parents, whatever. Um, just come learn about tapping. It's another tool that you can do to help take care of yourself as you're just juggling life and whatever it is that is on your plate.
So, like we said, join us at focushealthyfamily.com to find out more about the solutions that we have for you with your aging parent. You can find out more about my EFT, about the podcast, about blogs, all of that on our website.
Thank you for joining us today.
First, hold on. Get out of my way.